Hey, Justin Stark here with Medicare Gurus. Today in this video we're going to be going over my Medicare or my general Medicare presentation. So in Justin Brock's book, Medicare Breakdown, he talks about breaking down Medicare Barney style. When I think of Barney, I begin to think of the ABCs. So today we're going to go over the four major parts of Medicare, and you're going to use this, or you can use this, and it's actually a very flexible way that I present. I use this for rewrites, I use this for turning 65 presentations, and I'll use it also for when I'm cross-selling other products, whether they already have Medicare or not. So today you want to get this book and be able to use this, and once you get done writing this on a piece of paper, just like this here, just on a notepad, really simple, you can tear it out, fold it, and put it in this book and send it with your clients, okay? So first things first, Miss Betty comes in and I'm talking to her and I said, Miss Betty, Medicare really is this simple. My job is to explain it to you in such a way. So I'll go over the A, B, C, and D. And when I go over this, I draw a square around the A and B. And if they have their red, white, and blue card, I will actually sit the card on top of the A and B. Okay? And I'll say, Miss Betty, are you familiar with Medicare and how your red, white, and blue coverage works? And she may say yes or no, it's irrelevant. I'm going to give her the same information every time regardless. I'll say it functions as an 80-20 plan. And I'll ask them, do you know what I mean by that? Whether they say yes or no, it doesn't matter to me, but I'm prompting them to say yes and on some things as I go along through this. And as I'm going through this, I'll tell them to ask any questions at any time. So at any time that you have questions in this video, I want you to pause the video and maybe get in the Medicare Guru chat, or either you can message me directly on Facebook on any questions that you have in this presentation. But I begin to tell them about the 80-20 plan, and I circle the 20, and I explain, I look up at the ceiling if I'm inside of a building, and I tell them that the 20% does not have a ceiling or a stop loss. And then I continue to go through it, and I say, your Part A has a deductible, and I write it this way to keep it simple because they won't remember. I understand that it's more than $1,400, and I give the exact number on the B. And I basically tell them that when we're done today, you won't worry about this. This will be the only deductible that you'll have to be concerned with. And so I go over the importance of how the supplement will shield them through this, but I do it in this way. So, and then before I go into what the two major routes of Medicare looks like, I continue with our spectrum here. I go into the Part D, and I basically tell them that's their drug plan. So that's their drug card. And then I draw a triangle to make it stand out around the C. And I'll ask them, and I'll have that little piece of paper, and I'll turn it to them so they can read it. And I'll point at the C. I said, do you know what this means? And sometimes they say, yeah. And if they say, no, it doesn't matter, I'm going to tell them anyway. I say, this is all the commercials that you see about Joe Namath. We laugh and giggle about Joe talking about free, free's better than G, right? So here, I'll actually write that down. I'll say Medicare Advantage. And I don't use acronyms. Why do I not use acronyms? Because they don't know what they mean. I don't want to make them feel dumb. I want to be extremely thorough. And I may even put it like this underneath it. And so I go over this, again, summarizing, saying here are your four major parts. Today we're going to look at the two major routes that you can take for your coverage. And I'll just say simply, there's a traditional route that a lot of people like to use, and then there's a Medicare Advantage route. And basically what's in Justin's book is what I use for this presentation. So now we're going to look at filling the gaps in their Medicare. And so you can use whatever language you prefer, but here's what it looks like as I draw through it. So here, I draw it out. That's terrible. A supplement, okay? So here, I talk about the supplement, And if they're just turning 65, I'll go ahead and do this. And I just say we have two major options here. Now you would vary this based on whether that you can underwrite them or if it's a guaranteed issue product. If it's guaranteed issue, we all know that you're gonna have to go with the G for right now. But I talk about the supplement, and I don't really get into the weeds on anything. I don't do any of that. I go straight into the highlights and I give them what they need to know. I say, so today when you leave, if you ask me for my ideal situation, my recommendation, then again, my job, I say it just like this. Then again, my job is I'm a broker. My job is to educate you and guide you. I do just that in your decision making. My job is to protect your bank account, but doing that without breaking the bank account. I say it just like that every time, and they giggle and laugh, and we keep moving. And I say you need your supplement with your A and B. You need your drug plan. You need to attach a cancer plan to your drug plan. I'll give you the why behind that in a moment, and I say it just like that. And then I say you also need your life. I prioritize life over the dental, vision, and hearing on purpose to create a higher attachment rate. And then I go over dental, vision, hearing. That's, do you want fries with that kind of thing? That's what that is. So I give them what they need and then what they may want. It's easier to sell the dental than it is any of this other stuff. So now I'll say, here is the major route, and I'll stop and say, do you have any questions at this point? They may or may not. And then if they ask me, I will talk about their group coverage. They'll ask me why this stuff. I'll talk about their group coverage, how they have a payroll deduction, but it's going to be an itemized deduction on their bank account. And so I want to mirror what they may or may not have had. But then when it comes to Medicare Advantage, so I'll say this is route one. Now let's look at the second option. I'll talk about the MAPD. I'll talk about the cancer, same thing. We attach it to the drug plan. And then I talk about a hip and then the life. So, in a nutshell, I may write some more stuff on the paper, some more information that they may ask about. And here's what I present to them. Once I have all of this, and I'll do some explaining of why behind this. On the cancer, the quick version is this. I just say, we want to include a cancer product on your drug plan for this reason. Number one, you don't need something that pays for treatment. Your Medicare takes care of your treatment. Any kind of radiation, surgery, or even infusions, your Medicare is going to take care of that. However, we all know that after a serious cancer battle, you're always going to have a post-op treatment. So now you're going to have a lot of money in place, otherwise it's going to take care of your bank account. So what's going to happen is you're going to pay thousands of dollars for maybe like let's say, even one of the antibiotics that goes along with, say, what's the word I'm looking for here? Your chemo treatment. There's different types of medicines for that, but I explained the drug plan of a tier 1 through 5 trial and specialty drug medications. And I talk about how those chemo meds are in the higher echelon there and they cost more. And that's what the cancer product is for. Me personally, I err toward a $10,000 plus lump sum cancer benefit. They don't need one that, in my opinion, they don't need one that pays for treatment. That will take care of that. And they may ask me, what happens if I want to switch to this sometime? I'll say, well, we keep the cancer product and we make the changes necessary to get these two. That's what I do. For the most part, it's very simple, cut and dry. You can change the language. I'll just go through it explaining the why behind all of this. And I'll be honest with you, a small plug for Pete Fournier. I actually use his state-approved Social Security income protection program for the life insurance. And I'll let him talk to you more about that. But that's what we use for here. I did this just a few minutes ago and closed 5 apps. So if you have any questions, let us know. In the meantime, be sure to get Justin's book. And be sure to fold this paper and put it inside of the book when you send your clients on their way, okay? All right, thank you for having me. I hope you enjoyed the video.